Hello everyone, my name is Tia Benjamin, and today I will be doing a literacy center for medium level second grade students on the story There's No Place Like Space by Tish Rabe. The standard that the students will be focusing on for this certain activity will be LAFS 2 RL13. Describe how characters in the story respond to major events and challenges. For this activity, the students will go to their red folder. They will see the directions will be listed first. For this activity, the students will be completing a character map about any of the three main characters in the story: the cat in the hat, the boy, or the girl. Once you complete the map, use it to help you sequence the story, because you will write a summary of the events that happen to the character in the beginning, middle, and end format. Be sure to reread your summary after you have finished to make sure you have completed all parts of the summary and map. So, instead of doing a little bubble map, my little bubbles are squares. So the students will choose their character. They will then describe the character. What do they look like? Are they a girl? Are they a boy? Are they a cat? They will describe a major event or a challenge that the character faced. Then, how did that character respond to that event or challenge? And how did the character change over time? So the students will be focusing on one character and describing that character. The next part is recount a story. Using your knowledge on the story, write a summary about the events that involve the character in the story. Be sure to include beginning, middle, and end when recounting. So for this part of the story, the students are going to use their character map. They're going to recall from the story what happened to the character in the beginning, what happened in the middle, and what happened in the end. So this character map will help them focus on just the character, not the story, but the character that they chose, and then summarize it in this format. So they're getting a little bit of visual as well as practicing some writing and recalling on information. The rubric for this specific activity will be out of 40 points. Students will be graded on their character map, their recounting, their comprehension, and their grammar. So for this specific activity, excellent would be student completed the character map with good describing details. So they didn't just state, oh, he saw the cat in the hat, or she went in space. So the student recalled key details from the story. They were using lots of adjectives, and as well, they completed the character map, all parts of it. As for the recounting, student did an excellent job of using complete sentences and used great details to describe the sequence of the story for the character. So they didn't describe the beginning, middle, and end of the story, but the beginning and the middle and the end as it pertains to the character. They used complete sentences in describing each part, and they checked their spelling and grammar. Comprehension, student demonstrates accurate comprehension skills evident in student summary and character description, tells key details from the text. So this part, the student as well, they're pulling key details that are relevant to the character. They're putting them in their own words, and the summary pertains to the specific character. As for grammar, student used complete sentences, correct spelling, and sentence structure. That is self-explanatory. My rationale for doing this, as McLaughlin stated in her article, engaging in storytelling focuses, the students focus on narrative elements of the story, so the character, the setting, or the plots. In the character map, the students will be focusing on a character, they're focusing on a plot, and then with recounting the story, they will be writing the setting, they'll be writing what happened in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So it helps the students to pull information about one specific character in the story, what happens to them, and how they changed in the story. So the students not just focusing on, oh, I read this story, they're focusing on ideas that happened in the story. As well, I used Bloom's. The first category will be knowledge. The student will use their prior knowledge from reading the story from The Cat in the Hat. They're going to recall details about their character, and then they will be placing it in their map. After they do that, they will apply this knowledge that they used, that they recalled, and they will be writing a summary. So they will prepare a summary about the events that happened to the character that they recalled using their prior knowledge from the story. So the students will get to use higher thinking skills. They're going to use prior knowledge, they're going to apply that knowledge, and they're going to put in their own words what happens. So we're not just doing busy work, we will be actually thinking and using critical thinking skills. The third reason I used a thinking map for the character, because there are 3 characters that they could choose. This visual will help the students to focus their information. As Pat Wolf stated in his video, that thinking maps help students to understand and comprehend information for reading and writing, and helps them to move over to writing. So by using a thinking map, the students can collect all their ideas in one place to help them stay organized, and then they can move to taking those ideas and writing them in sentences. So overall, this activity is going to help them, 1, to place their ideas, and then to put it all in one place in writing. So, and that is the end. Thank you for listening.